Well, I'm weeding out the turtle enclosure in the hopes of finding some baby turtles, but the soil is awfully cold. Weeds are coming up fairly easily. When I stand up, this grass is almost shoulder high on me, not quite. And even if I don't find any baby turtles now, I'm thinking that the soil will warm with the sun that's hitting it, and if there are any eggs inside, they will come up. This is a little dog sitting in the center where the pond is, but they usually lay eggs out here where I'm filming. This is where I generally find them, on this side, because the soil is rather sandy, and I'm going to get this side done first. It's a lot of weeds. It goes way over there, almost to that fence line. It's an octagon. Well, the grass is up to my shoulders almost in height here. We have had rain aplenty, and it has caused everything to grow. That's one of those dog kennels down there that's like 6 feet by 6 feet. So I have been busy getting the turtle pen weeded out in case there are any hatchlings that are going to come up. I doubt it, because the water was out for months last summer when the well went dry, and I had to wait on a waiting list and then get a new well drilled. But I am working on getting this cleaned out in case there are any hatchlings or they need to come up and the soil needs to be warmer. It's a little cool with the weed cover, though our temperatures are increasing. And then I'll be cleaning out the pond. There's still a little bit of mud in here down at the bottom, and a little bit of water from when it filled up with the rain. So I'm going to get all that scraped and cleaned out before I fill it again. But then the feral cats have a place to drink. So I'm working on this side now. I don't know what all this is going to cover. I'm hoping this will show as I go. I've got to get the gloves on. Now the turtles have all moved to the other homestead. They're up north, and they were just waking up when I left. Oh, these. Luckily I have a spare in the pocket. This glove is totally ripped that I'm putting on. So I will try another one. So the adults have all moved, and I don't know if the pen that I've got temporarily set up there is large enough for them to lay eggs, or deep enough, because I had to put hardware cloth underneath everything because of the predator pressure we have up there. And I wanted to make sure that we could see that that they were safe. So I do have forest duff underneath the turtles and above on the hardware cloth, but I don't know if it's deep enough for them to be digging and laying eggs in yet. We'll have to find out as the season progresses. So I'm going to give this a shot, since I don't have a tripod here. It's coming up fairly easily. It's still moist enough here. And this is cleavers, and grass. The grass is a little tougher to get out, but it's coming up quite easily and quickly. That's why I started on the shady side. Though as the day progresses, the wise thing is to start on the sunny side to begin with, and then you can work into the cool when you get hot. But I thought I'd try this and see what happens. So I'm throwing it all out. Where I weeded the other day, it has dried down quite a bit and reduced in size. So I'm assuming this will do the same thing. Got a little skipper key that's helping here. Probably not the camera is in relation to what I'm doing here. I'm thinking that might have been a starling eggshell there. It's a little crunchy for a turtle shell, which they tend to be leathery. They're like a ping pong ball, is what the texture of them. It's kind of like a ping pong ball. Same shape. This was oblong. And I might be pleasantly surprised with a baby box turtle here somewhere. That's why I'm doing this, in case anybody hatches before the feral cats get them. So many pounds of vegetation here. I wished I had pigs here, or the chickens, or the peafowl, in order to feed them to. Be nice. I don't know if this is showing. Big wads that I'm throwing out to try and squish the grass on the other side. And then I still have to weed the interior where the pond is there. And there might be little baby red-eared sliders in there, because I have had babies occur throughout the years. Not very many, one or two. I had quite a predation problem with the peafowl. First it was ants. There were so many ants in here that eggs never survived. I just thought the turtles weren't breeding. I never had babies for years. Then I figured out I could soak and flood this a couple times a year. If I did that, that solved my ant issue. And once I started doing that, I started getting baby turtles. Well, the peafowl were all loose, and I'd catch them in here all the time. I never saw them eating one, but I wasn't getting very many baby turtles. Once I penned up the peafowl, I started having quite a few. Ants were gone, and peafowl. I do have predation from the feral cats. They get in here and eat the babies. That's why I'm going to be checking all the days that I'm here before I head up to the other homestead to see if anybody has come up before something has a chance to snack on them. But, as I said, it was so dry this summer with the well being out for months before we could get on the drilling list that it probably is futile here doing this. wasted about 45 minutes. I started to do this today and I thought I should probably record a little of it. Went up, tried to get the microphones. First I had to find the iPad in the Suburban because I've been moving back and forth so much. Things get lost in there. I've kind of been living out of my vehicle for months. And finally found the iPad, found the microphones, and then I tried to get them hooked up, and I got all the correct cords according to YouTube, because I purchased those before, but no sound was going on the videos. I did a couple of episodes just filming the grass and my feet and some roses. No sound. So I'm back to using just the microphone on the iPad itself. That's what I have available right now. I am so glad this is coming up easy. I brought a digger to loosen them, but you don't want to do that if there's baby turtles in there or eggs underneath. That can be very disastrous. Wish I was drying all these cleavers. I've got some on the counter inside. They're supposed to be extremely healthy for you. And I thought dried because they're rather sticky. We also call them sticky weeds. They're rather sticky. They're making my arms all red. I thought they'd be good to put into breakfast drink if they were dehydrated and powdered up. Might be a good way to get them in something you were eating that was palatable. Well, it would be thrilling to see a baby turtle, but it's even colder on this side than it was on the other side in the soil itself. So I doubt if we're going to find anything. As I said, I don't think anything made it through the summer from eggs that would have been incubating in the ground. It was just too many months of absolutely no water here and hot, hot temperatures. And then we got the opposite. The rains came, which is, it grows a lot in here every year. I've got a huge amount of weeds to weed out. But this is incredibly high this year and lush and a lot of growth here. So my goal today is to get the rest of the pan itself here weeded out, but I'll do the weeds that are all around the pond maybe tomorrow, because this is still quite a ways to go. I'll pick up the camera and show you. So I've gone from here all the way back over there today so far, and I still have that, but I'll do that another day. So I'm headed down here to go around and then meet where it's cleared. You can see where you can start seeing the wall over there. And when I built this turtle pen, I put rebar, 1 foot pieces of rebar every 3 inches on the interior of the wall. So I just pounded them down in so that a turtle that was trying to dig out couldn't get out, and I assumed any that were smaller than that wouldn't have the capacity to dig out and get through the thickness of this wall underneath. And it seems to have worked. I've never lost anybody in here from that. And it's an octagon. It has 8 sides that are 10 feet long each, all the way around. And it's been a fabulous box turtle habitat all these years. done. No baby turtles. Doesn't mean something might emerge, but I doubt it because it was just too dry. I normally mist every other day during the summer, and if it's super hot here, over 100, I mist every day for them. So just there wasn't moisture. If there were eggs, I'm sure they desiccated, but you never know. A baby might come up. So still have the pond area to go, and I have to get all that cleaned out and then refilled with some fresh water. These poor red-eared sliders went to a big, huge, oblong stock tank is where they ended up at the new place temporarily. Not ideal, but I had built a platform in the middle, which floated, and I had to weight it down so they can get up and sun themselves. Because here they got up on the edge all the way around. Most of it's covered with vegetation, but they would get up and sit in the sun. The sun isn't here all day. I've got this huge hackberry above here that was planted years ago that gives them shade. There's young ones coming up, unfortunately. I'm going to have to take those out. And then on this side, because there used to be trees, there was a second one of these here, these octagon turtle enclosures, and I had a sulcata and an African leopard tortoise in that. When they put in the orchard, they took that one out. There were trees in there that shaded this side of the turtle pen, and they aren't there, so I'm growing these quick-growing poplars here that provide shade when the turtles were here. But they had to move because there was no water last summer until we got the new well drilled, which wasn't until October. So it was a rough summer, and I know the turtles are missing their really nice habitat here. They do get sun in their new place in the afternoon, so they can get warmed up before overnight. It's large enough for them, but nothing like this. It's just a square box that's 8 feet by 8 feet, I believe. So here it is with the wire all the way across. A bit of salal poking up there. I pulled the leaves through the wire. This is the dirt that I'm going to then push back over, and I may get some from outside. And then I'm going to build a cap around the top. And I'm thinking I should use 2x4s instead of 2x6s. 2x6s would be easier to sit on, but I've got to get both of them attached to these posts in the corner. And I don't want to do miter corners because I'm not sure quite how to do that. I don't have a miter saw up here. Well, actually I do, an electric one, a huge heavy one, down in a storage building, but I'd have to drag it up and over to where I can plug it in. So I think I'm just going to butt one up against the other. I'm going to go see if there are any spare 2x4s around in order to do this, and then I have to build the frame for the lid, put on the hinges, wire it, and put on the latches, which I have. And then 4x8 on each side, because I've tried to separate my different types of box turtles. I have Gulf Coast, I have Eastern box, I have ornate, and I have Western three-toe. So I tried to separate them, but they dig underneath. So there's at least enough dirt to dig underneath.